science is important, and I hope we see it now. It's not just because everybody is doing it. It is because there is a reason for it. So what are we as Detalium? Detalium is an initiative that was impact driven. If there's any word, anytime you hear Detalium, one word that jumps out for us is impact. We want to make an impact. We set out to make an impact. And that you would see from the fact that there are many data science courses, but the most the least expensive you probably get around is a Detalium class. And that is not because we don't need money. That is not because, oh, this thing come cheap. No, it doesn't. It is human resources. It is human time. Our facilitators head banks, data analytics departments of major banks in the countries. They work across board. So those people's times don't come cheap. But together we have a shared vision to make an impact. And that is why we're in this together. That is why we have been pushing from nothing to train almost 5,000 students already across different classes, from our beginners class to intermediate class to our HR analytics class to our business analytics class. We understand that these skills are important and we have to bring it down so that everybody, irrespective of their pocket size, can afford it. So I'll just move quickly to what do we offer? Physical tutoring, online tutoring, mentoring, and consulting. For everybody that has attended a Italian class, you know it doesn't end in class. So because of COVID, we suspended our physical classes for this year, but by January we are looking to start. We are not certain yet, but one thing that is ongoing definitely is our online classes and our mentoring classes. Once you're a member of the Italium and alumnus of the Italium, you have access to our facilitators. You know, the mentoring is there. We want to make an impact. We just want to sell a class and move. And that comes up for us in everything we do. We have a WhatsApp group where you have daily challenges, just drop it, somebody will respond. And that helps you to learn. Even if it's not your personal challenge, somebody drops a challenge that they have and there's somebody responding to them, everybody learns. It is how I learned a lot of things too. When I started off in marketing, I had to join different communities. So we are building a community where you can talk about your challenges, everybody can, and opportunities. We have mentoring, we have consulting. One thing that comes up in this mentoring part that we didn't explicitly state here is the opportunities we give people that go through our class. We have a lot of big data organizations and even other organizations that reach out to us. At least in the past 2 weeks, or let's say 1 month, we've had like 3 or 4 people we've had to help recruit different roles, like 4 different organizations coming with different roles. Well, because we trust the curriculum, we trust what you guys are giving out there. Can you please recommend people? And we send it out. No partiality. We just send it out. Send in your CVs, sending what work you've done, and we push it out to the employer who then recruits people. So we are certain that at least 6 people that have gone through the Italian class got an opportunity in the last 2 weeks. We are still getting there. We are always looking out for people. Our partnerships are beyond, oh, let's make money. It's okay, how can you help someone that is an Italian alumnus? So that is the dream for us. And so that comes in. And because we also understand that sometimes you learn and you don't have the opportunity to practice, we have the Italian intelligence, where when we get projects as Italian, we engage people that have gone through the Italian class. That way you have hands-on experience. Then you beef up your CV. I have worked on this project, I have worked on that project. You get, so that is where the world is right now. And we want to build a community, an ecosystem that helps you from the scratch to get to the level you want to get to. So I'll quickly go down and proceed to let you know that, oh, it's not just if you want to build a career in data science. I am not a data scientist. I have an idea of everything that is being taught. I have the idea of data science, but I apply it in my work as a marketing professional and brand manager because I do research. I was supposed to travel on Thursday for a research work as a marketing person, not as a research personnel. And that is data. You get, but I could not travel because Arik just left all of us stranded. I hope nobody else experienced that. So, but it's still going to happen. And I had done one in Lagos. You get, so it is not just if you want to build a career in data science. It is not just, oh, if you want to be a uh data engineer. It is beyond that. It's what those the thing is those guys now do more. Those guys, if you have bigger projects, there are some research work or some data analytical work or data engineering work I might not be able to do because it is not my job. But to the little, to the basics, that's something that will qualify you as knowing what you do. Imagine my company had to do a research work and I'm a marketing person and I say, I don't know anything about this, so I have to go and spend 10 million naira to get a research agency for basic research work like this. It's the company will start doubting that are we sure this person is worth the salary we pay them, we pay her every month. You get? So it is about showing that you're a worthy asset. And this list is just like knowing how to use PowerPoint and Excel. You get? There are people that are professionals in that place, but every time you have to do a presentation, you don't have to employ somebody to do it. So that is where the knowledge of data science and analytics comes in. And as HR people, there's HR analytics, there's business analytics for, especially for business development guys, for people that do project management, and then there's the basic data analytics class for people like us that are not core data people, but the knowledge of it is essential for our day-to-day activities. And of course, guys that want to build a career in it, it's big money industry, I must say. But I enjoy my marketing, so we move. Uh, so what do you do? What can you do when you learn data science and analytics? Project, it tells with project management, of course, because you're able to get, okay, so I've gotten data of how long it takes for this to happen. I'm building my Gantt chart. I can collate data, interpret it, and then apply it to what I'm doing. I can make a forecast from data that I've gotten in the past, or how does, from what I've gotten before, analyzed and presented, how does that impact future projects? And like I said, forecasting and budgeting. My data, I'll keep using marketing as an example. And if after this, if you have questions pertaining to your own specific fields, you can ask so we can relate it. Oh, so last year I spent this amount on my marketing budget, but this year there's been COVID, and because of COVID, human behavior, I've done this. I have done maybe a research. I've collected data from my CRM, from this. I've analyzed it. I've gotten this. 2021 budget, will it be different from 2020's budget? Will it be different from 2019's budget? Why am I forecasting this will change and that will change? Because I have gotten data, I have analyzed it, I have interpreted it, and I have gotten information that would insights that would now help me to forecast and budget for 2021. Fraud detection, of course, especially for guys that work in banks that collect data, you should be able to arrange, and you are checking something, you've seen somebody's name appear like 10 times, and then you are presenting your data in Power BI, you are cleaning up your data and say, this person's name or this card number is showing for like 10 different names, then there's a problem somewhere. One card is linked to, I don't know if you get, or maybe people that are using their name to defraud people, or they are using their, you get, it helps you to know when there is something wrong. Or people are coming, you say one slot per registrant. Maybe you do a competition and say only one person, we register only one time. Somebody wants to be smart, they will enter 10 names, use the same email address, or enter the same name, use 10 different email addresses. It's easy for you to spot when something is wrong. Managing customer data, you're an entrepreneur, you're a customer representative, you're a bank person, you get, all of us that use customer data, even as a marketing person. Risk modeling, and then for you to, it's forecasting, identifying risk and modeling it. So it goes beyond, okay, I don't know how much you guys know data, but data in its purest form is not something you want to deal with, right? And then as you progress in your career, you will get that kind of thing, like something that will just scatter your head and you'll be like, where do I go with this? And you cannot present that to the board. I know the dream is all of us sitting with the C-suite, presenting and all of that. You have to demystify it, demystify it in a way that makes sense. They don't want to see the raw data. They really do not care, right? They just want to see the journey and how it gets to your final conclusion, and putting it in a way that it is beautiful to the eyes and it makes sense. Like, what could be better? Personalized marketing for, like, especially for marketing people like me, right? It helps you to tie this to this. This is this person's strength. This is patterns. This is this. You're able to know that Ayo goes and buys does a shopping 2 times in a month. So I know that Ayo, for your second shopping for the month of December, do this and that. I know Ayo goes on vacation twice in a year. Ayo, do you know that instead of traveling in June, you can go in August, because in this country there is free tickets, or there is this and there is that. I hope I'm not going beyond my time, because I want to answer questions. And then real time and predictive analysis. So I'll move quickly so I don't go beyond that time. So what are we offering in our data science class? It's a 4-day training, 2 weekends, Saturday, Sunday, gives you the knowledge of all these things that I have said, helps you to understand how to bring your data and make sense of it. There are levels to it, of course. Like I said, depends on how good you want to be. There's the intermediate class for those down to, like, there are some jobs that need more than the beginners, and they are not even called data science courses. But for these 4 days, Saturday, Sunday, weekends, you will learn. We will introduce you to data science. It is beyond what I've said. I am not a facilitator, but at least from the knowledge I have said, we introduce you to machine learning, the business intelligence world, using Power BI, structured query learning as SQL, data presentation, which is very important. And here you see this thing on my screen. And before we got to this final space, the data was, I didn't want to talk about it, right? Then, of course, like I'd mentioned before, we have added service, like you have access to the lecture slides, so you could always go back to it. And the good thing about our classes, you could confirm from everybody, is we understand the pace of everyone. You can ask questions. Be sure, oh, we have assignments and you will do it. We have tests, we have exams. It is interesting. You get to meet people and you get to test your knowledge and all of that. Then, of course, post lecture mentorship. Oh, you need questions from people that have been in this field before. There is always somebody to answer you. For instance, if you're a marketing person, then there is only to talk to you. Like I said, test assignments via our e-learning portal. Um, the learning outcome, which I stated before, you learn introduction to data science, machine learning, Power BI, SQL, and post-learning mentorship. So this cost does not apply to you. You can see it is big money, 50,000. We get, and that is why we have partnered on this together. So for everybody that attended this class, you get to learn to pay 22,500. Yeah, that's even less than, okay, that's even less than 50%. So you pay 22,500. I am going to drop the link for your registration. It's going to be a separate link so that we can track you. I will share the link with the host, so for your registration, so if you want to join, and your reference number should be HiSec. That would help us to track you and make payments for the next class in January. So I'll just stop here now. I guess my time is up. If anybody has any questions, please ask before I leave. I'm going to drop the link to the class. So it's 22,500 for everybody that attends this class. Yeah, so thank you very much.
Okay, amazing. Thank you very much, Oyi. I'm so sorry the time is a little bit fast spent. I definitely, for everybody who attended or who registered as a paid delegate, definitely you'll be able to have access to this discount. And yeah, that's majorly it from Oyi. I don't know if anybody has one or two questions before we move quickly into the next session. Very, very quickly, please, into the next session. And if there are no questions in the next 30 seconds, we definitely will be moving to our next um, facilitator. Definitely not the list, but our next facilitator. So 20 seconds.
All right, that's fine. I dropped the link to the class on the chat, and you could also share with them at the end of the class. Yeah, and we are Detalium
Amazing.
on social media. You could just reach out to us. Let us know you attended the class, and the discounts apply.
Amazing. So thank you very much, Oyi. We definitely would also reiterate this point via our output mails and also via the group. Thank you very much. Do enjoy the rest of your day. But you can still stay around and listen to our next speaker. I'm very, very sure it's power packed and you definitely will have one or two things to learn. Um, so the next session is a session with Ms. Tosin Durotoye. Ms. Tosin Durotoye, are you definitely you are here? Actually, you've been here. Thank you so much for your patience, ma'am. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. So quickly, an introduction of Ms. Dorothea. Miss Tosin Dorothea is an Atlantic Douglas emerging leader, a woman in Africa ambassador, a Princeton Alumni Corp emerging leader, woman in tech and partnership builder. She also Bachelor of Arts in Political Science from Wake Forest University and a Masters of Urban Planning degree from New York University, Wagner School of Public Service. She's also the founder of Bloom Africa and the Power Girl Africa, Leading Ladies Africa, and also Nigerian's 100 Most Inspiring Women 2019, Most Influential People of African Descendants, 100 Under 40 2020, CEO and Principal Consultant at Concelia Advisory Practice. Without further ado, please welcome Ms. Tosin Dorothea. You
Thank
have the floor, ma.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. You know, I love talking to, and I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, that everyone in this room is a young person. Is that right? I'm talking to the youth today, right? Am I correct? Okay, very good.
Yes, you
So,
are.
so because, you know, I relate to the youth, and so I don't bring PowerPoint. I really don't, because the youth, they don't like that. They just want you to chat with them. So what I'm going to do, guys, is that if you're listening in as I'm talking, if you have any questions, just start asking me. Yeah, just start putting your questions in the chat box. We're just having a conversation, because I think ultimately the things that I'm going to tell you, I'm hoping that they will all help you, that you'll remember some of the things I said to you. And one of the first things that I want to say to you is that you don't have to have everything figured out right now. Now, here's the thing. I grew up and I schooled in the US. I was born in Nigeria though, and I live here now. But growing up in the US is different, because there you don't even have to declare the major of study, like your degree. You don't have to declare that until your second year of university, because they want you to take time to go and take other kinds of classes. They give you some required courses you have to take, so you can try, you know, maybe you end up in one tech class, and then maybe you take one science class. And then in the second year, maybe when you're maybe 19 years old, you then say, okay, well, out of all of the classes I've taken, this one is the one that I really like. And so this is what I'm going to do. Now, that's really different from the educational system we have here in Nigeria, which is more like the British educational system, right? And I have to tell you guys that I'm not the greatest fan of it, because it forces young people to literally decide what they want to be and what they want to do really early on, like before they've even tried anything. And I think that's kind of weird. So for me, that's why when I talk to young people, I always say, it's okay. Give yourself some time. And I'll tell you this, that there's a secret that nobody tells you guys, is that a lot of times the way you planned life is not quite exactly as it goes sometimes. Now, the only time that that might not be the case is if maybe you're like studying to be a doctor, because, you know, you spend like a lot of years in medical school and you are really sure, like by the time you get out, you're like, yes, I want to be a doctor. Those people, they rarely change their career. But I'm here to tell you, and being very honest with you, that a lot of the people I know, including myself, the path to your purpose and your career it's not like this. It's not straight like that. It's more like this. Go back. And then, okay, maybe this way. Okay, then you go around, and then, there we go. And then somehow you arrive at a place that you feel good and you feel comfortable in. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because the age you're in now is an age of exploration. And I know that a lot of us, including myself, I grew up in a household where my options were, I think, three: a doctor, an engineer, and a lawyer. That was it. It's like, is there nothing else to do in the world? Just three things. But, you know, that's how Nigerian parents are. And so, you know, I try to kind of make my parents give me time to figure myself out and everything. And my dad was like, you should go to business school. That would be good. You can work, you know, on Wall Street. I mean, so I like money. I like making money. I like, you know, working hard. So I was like, okay, Wall Street, maybe I can do Wall Street. Let me tell you guys, the first accounting class I took, hey, I won't tell you to guess what the grade was that I got in that class. Hey, it was not funny. It was not funny at all. I had to carry that grade home. It was my worst grade of life. It wasn't an F, but Shasha, let's say it wasn't too far. Ah, it didn't pay me because I was inside the accounting class and I couldn't quite, I wasn't understanding it very well. It wasn't exciting. I was bored. And I just was not feeling it. I was like, nah, this isn't it, but because your family has told you this is what you have to do. But me, well, I've always been a bit courageous. I've always been a bit strong-willed. So I went back home and I told my dad, I said, here's my grade. And my dad was like, how can you get this grade? What's the meaning? How? Hey, God help me, oh Jesus. The other students, they have two hairs. They have two hairs. And me, I was like, I told you I didn't want to do it. I told you it's not my calling. I told you about what I talk about. Well, I just started crying. I said, it's your fault. It's your fault. I've never gotten a grade like this. My father was in shock. Oh, this didn't shock the man. No, it wasn't funny that day. That one was like, Before this child comes and starts to say I'm the reason for her failure, please let me release her. So I was just lucky, honestly. So my dad released me. Yeah. And in doing that, he gave me the freedom to actually go and do the things that I felt drawn to. Now, I realize this is a luxury. I do. It's a privilege because a lot of times our parents work really hard. See, I had a scholarship, so I could also do that. But a lot of times our parents work really hard, and so they want us to do that one thing because they want to make sure that their money does not waste. You understand? And sometimes as children or as people that want to make our parents happy, we'll do that one thing. And the only thing that I would say to people is just remain true to yourself. It's okay to get a degree that, is a useful degree. There are many useful degrees out there. There are. But if there's something in your heart that you've always wanted to do, it's okay to get the degree because guess what? Degrees are necessary anyway. They are. I have two of them and I'm still getting all kinds of certificates. I just finished one with Harvard online. So I'm always learning. So there's a really good value to going to school and getting the degree because that's really what sets you apart in many ways, right? But at the end of the day, you have to remember the thing within you that excites you, you know, and sometimes you don't figure that thing out for a little while, and that's why I like the idea of internships. I had many internships during my career path. Oh, yes, because when I was an undergraduate, I studied political science and I liked it because I love politics. I love the idea of just like understanding how the world works because really the world is run with politics if you really think about it. Even the economy can be predicted by the politics going on somewhere. Like look at Nigeria now. A lot of things are being determined by the politics and the leadership we have. So I've always been fascinated by that. So after I couldn't do business school, and my father said, what did I want to do? I said, I wanted to do political science. And he was just looking at me like, but you know why? He couldn't say anything. You know why? Because he's a doctor of political science. So I knew what I was doing. I had trapped him. Yes, he was in a trap. He had entered one chance. So he couldn't say no. So that's how I entered political science. And when I entered political science, I loved it. And then you know what I did? I wanted to even shock him some more. So I now said, Dad, can I get a second degree in art? Do you guys see the painting behind me? I love art. Can I get a second? My father said, oh my dear, but you'll never get a degree in art. Well, what are they going to do with a degree in art? So I now negotiated with him. I said, okay, if I do well in this, my other courses, can I start taking classes in this other one? He said, okay, fine. As long as I shall make sure that I do well in the first one. So that's how I negotiated my passion. Now, understand the difference between passion and purpose. Art is a passion of mine. It means I love it. I like it. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm good at it. I did it and I feel like I was learning some things, but is it something that I would do full time? Probably not now or not that I can think of. And so I don't think that's my purpose. I think it's more of a passion, right? But I wanted to feel close enough to my passion. So I never forgot the things within me that resonated with me. Do you understand what I mean? So even while I was getting the degree that made everybody feel okay, the truth of the matter is I kept reminding myself, you're a creative person. You're somebody who likes to use your brain. You're somebody who likes to use your creativity. You're somebody, and so I just kept making sure that I stayed close to that. I would have hobbies. I would join clubs. I would join organizations. That's how I continue to have that closeness to my true passion. Do you understand? And so exactly, Ikigai. I talk about Ikigai all the time. Ikigai. which is purpose in Japanese, the reason for being. And Ikigai asks 4 questions, and the way to know what your purpose is. And by the way, it's a journey. So that's why, if you remember, I said at the beginning of this, I don't expect, if any of you tell me right now that you know exactly what you want to do, I'll say, okay, come back to me in 2 years, 1 year, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Just come back to me, because things change. You learn something, you find yourself in a space that you didn't think you were going to be. That's what happened to me. And then you're like, oh, I kind of like it. And then you're like, oh, I didn't know this thing was even a thing when I was in school. Da, da, da. And then, but you have to allow yourself to follow that purpose. And so purpose, 4 questions. Do I love it? Am I good at it? Because you can love something, but you might not be good at it. Like, I love music, but I can't sing. I sound like a dying dog. I mean, I'm just being honest, It's very bad. It sounds like a very injured animal. That's how I sound, It's like I can't lift it, And so I like music. I love it, but am I good at it? Nope. So can be my purpose. But you love it, right? You're good at it. And then you like doing it. You like doing it. So sometimes we're good at something, but we don't like doing it. You know what I mean? I love so many things, but that doesn't mean that is my favorite thing to do. That means it's not my purpose, right? So remember, the question is, do I love it? Am I good at it? Right? Do I like doing it? That's kind of the same thing, right? Kind of the same thing. So the third one now is, does the world need it? Because sometimes we like something, like, for example, now I like plantain. I like fried plantain a lot. Do I love it? Yes. Am I good at frying it? Very much so. Yes, I'm very good. It's skill sets I've had for a long time. Does the world need it? I'm not certain. No. Maybe if I can find a different way to offer the dodo, but I haven't discovered it yet. And then the fourth thing is, can I make a living off of it? That's what people always forget with that question with Ikigai. Can it sustain me? Because people have this wrong mentality that purpose means that, oh gosh, that means that I have to do something that I sacrifice myself for. Like, I can't, it may not be something that I'm good at. But honestly, whoever tells you that, not true. I've always done good, meaning I've done things that are good, impact-driven work, but I've also always done well. I get my coins. I get my salary, okay? And so don't let anybody tell you that because you're pursuing your purpose, it means that you are going to be broke or poor. But you have to figure out those 4 questions and then figure out how to make it so that it's sustainable. It's something that you can turn into a living. It's something that you can wake up every morning. You can almost do it for free, but you're just shocked that somebody's paying you. Wow. Like, that's when you lock into it. But it takes a while to get there. So I don't want you guys to rush yourself. Whatever degree you think you should get right now, whatever degree you're working towards, if you have the privilege or if you have the opportunity to really go after what you want, go after it. But I will tell you this, and I have to be very honest with you, you also have to be very sharp. So my father has always called, look, your degrees are your insurance policy. Let's be honest, okay? Life doesn't always go in a straight line. So that's facts, okay? That's why it's called life. If it was a straight line, we just call it a straight line, but it's not a straight line. It's like this. And so we call it life. So when we do that, what you find out is that life throws you curveballs, things you're not expecting. It demands things of you suddenly, things that you didn't see happening. They start to come to you. So you want to have that insurance policy in hand. So guess what? I went and I got my master's degree because I knew my undergraduate degree. I liked it, but quite frankly, I knew that I was pursuing just the things that I love to do, which is fine because that's the age I was supposed to do that, honestly. And I found out so much about what I liked. I found out so much about the things that excited me, and it was lovely. But then I was like, okay, Tosin, but professionally, what do you want to do? But guess what I found out during my undergrad? I love volunteering. I love service. I love impact work. I was volunteering for the Red Cross for years. I was volunteering for Teach for America. I was in a public service sorority. I just loved impact-driven work. So those are the years, those 4 years in undergrad where the years that I used to discover some things about myself. Not everything, but some things. And those things led me to, Tosin cannot work on Wall Street. So I don't like it because that one is just money all the time, money, counting money. It's not my thing. Some people like it too, but for Tosin, and she didn't like it. And how did I know that? I tried the course. And I did terrible in it. And I was like, I don't think I'm good at it. And I don't like it. That's not my purpose. So that's how I left it. And so for graduate school, here's when my father came back in with his Africanness. I said, my dad, I had to go and find myself. I just feel like I don't really know what to do next. I've done this like degrees and stuff, but I just need time. And so I've applied for Teach for America, and they've posted me in New Orleans, Louisiana, in the US. And I love New Orleans. It's a beautiful city. I'm going to go there and teach and find myself. And my father looked at me and he said, where did you lose yourself? Did you drop yourself somewhere like in a dustbin or something like that? Like he was very confused. He was like, you're looking for yourself. Where did you misplace yourself? So I was like, this man really doesn't care about my feelings. Wow. So he said to me, he's like, Tosin, when you are done with your master's, you can go and teach for China, you can go and teach for Africa, you can go and teach for Madagascar. I don't care what you teach, but you first go and get this insurance policy and you finish it. I was like, this man is insane. I can't catch a break. But you know what? He was right. He was right. I then was forced to sit down and think, okay, what would be a good professional degree? Now, that's the difference again in the US. So your undergrad allows you to explore. Your graduate degree is somewhere where you have to then say to yourself, exactly, African parent syndrome, all of them, they're the same. They come from the same factory. It's okay. Maybe we will turn out like them. It's very scary. But eventually, right, you go and you think, okay, professionally, how do I merge all the things that I like together? And one of the things I started to do was I started to think, I love planning things. I love visuals. I love the idea of, I wanted to be an architect. So I loved art. So I said, okay, maybe I can do architecture because I love making an impact. So I love enjoying, art. But for me, I don't know if I'm good enough at it to make an impact, but I'm good enough with design and drawing and stuff. But then when I looked at architecture, I realized it was like a lot of physics and a lot of math. And I was like, oh no, because I also found out a very long time ago that that's not my area of ministry. So I said, okay, no, I can't do that one. So when it came down to choose my professional path, I said, let me just start researching. So I got on my laptop, I started researching different graduate degrees. There's so many resources online now. I call it Google University. Google in itself is a university. You know that. All your information, if you can go as deep as you want or as shallow as you want, but you can learn a lot of things online. So I go there and I started researching things. I thought, okay, I like politics. I did really good in those classes and I enjoyed it. Maybe I should do public policy. Maybe I can work in government. So I went and looked at public policy and I liked it, but there was something missing. And then as luck would have it, and this is where kind of like the luck piece comes in, because sometimes preparation meets luck. I was prepared in the sense that I knew my direction. I was already researching, I was already thinking, I was already planning. But you see, when that luck came and visited me, I was ready. So I recognized it as soon as I saw it. If you're not preparing yourself all the time, when an opportunity comes, you won't even see it. You won't even see it. Sometimes it's even worse. When you're not preparing yourself, you will see a distraction and you will think it's an opportunity and you will go after it. And you have lost. Otusonu. For those of you who speak Yoruba, Otusonu, you have lost yourself. So you must understand yourself first. That's why everything starts with you, which is why I tell young people all the time, a sense of awareness. If you cannot state your values as a young person already, what do I stand for? What makes me tick? What am I passionate about? What are the things that I'm not willing to do? What are the things I'm willing to try and figure out? You have to start to figure out what your own boundaries are. This is your own life. Your destiny is not your parents' destiny. Your destiny is not your pastor's destiny. Your destiny is not your siblings' destiny. It's your own. Your destiny is your literal own. It's like this in your hand. So you have to start asking yourself questions. Who am I? What do I like? You start writing things down. So I was always paying attention to the things that I was good at, the things I loved, the things that I felt the world needed, the things that I felt I could make money with. I was paying attention. So when the time came and I saw city planning, I said, that's it. That's the one. That's the one. Why did I know it was the one? Number one, it allowed me to bring in, because city planning, if you Google it, it's about planning of cities. If you live in Lagos, you may not know what that is. I myself am confused at the state of Lagos because we look as though we should have been planned, but somewhere along the line, somebody said, nah, we're just going to do whatever we want to do. That's why we have such bad traffic patterns. That's why we have so many buildings that are close to the road, buildings that are close together. You can't breathe properly. Those are the signs of poor city planning. Abuja is a good example of better city planning. There's space. There's zones, shopping area, there's residential area, there is manufacturing areas. That's how you know city planning. City planning is what tells you there's a school that should go here. There's no school in this area. We have a school here. There should be a shop here. There's no grocery store. There's no supermarket here. We'll put it there. So the city planner sees the whole picture and all the pieces and says, this is what should happen. This is what should come together. And I love that. I loved it because many things were happening. Things like, number one, I was using my creative mind, how to figure out what belongs where. I was making impact in people's lives. I'd figured out that I loved impact because of my volunteer experience and the things that made me excited to do that I could almost do for free. I was like, so now I'm making impact. I'm touching people's neighborhoods, how they eat, how they go to school, even their roads. Like, now, what traffic does to our mental state in this country. It frustrates our parents, it frustrates us, it frustrates our family members, our friends. And so that's because we don't plan our road systems properly to fit the population. So we end up all squeezed up. And it's a really bad thing. So we have actual transportation planners whose job is to plan streets. That's all they do. We have housing planners. Their job is to plan where houses go, how much they cost, who gets to live here, who gets to stay, and who gets to make sure that we don't push poor people out for people that have more money, people that are doing jobs like that. And we have people that are doing climate, planning, that are helping with the environmental planning. Is the water getting close to the city? Are we paying attention? We don't want floods. Is what's happening. So those things all come together to allow a city to run in a way that benefits the people. So for me, that felt like something that clicked with me. I could use my policy mind. I could use my creative mind. I could make an impact. It just felt exciting. And how did I know? Because the day one of my mentors came to me, and she became my mentor the day this happened. By the way, young people, stop asking people to be your mentor just because you saw them somewhere on Instagram or because you just know them or they gave you a talk like I'm giving to you now. Having a mentor is a relationship and it's an organic one. It's one that grows out of you getting to know one another. If you want somebody to be your mentor, study what they're doing from a distance. Look at their social media pages. Read the books that they read. Study the things that they might like to study. Understand some of the concepts they too apply in their lives. Oprah is my mentor now. Yes, she's my mentor. It doesn't matter to me if she knows my name. In fact, Auntie Oprah, she's my mentor. I've read her books, I've watched her shows, I've listened to her podcast, I've listened to her interviews. I understand how that woman thinks. I understand her business ideals. I understand her value systems. That's what you need from a mentor. So sometimes, not every, because I see people all the time, do you go to somebody on the street and you say, will you be my boyfriend? Do you just go to a boy on the street and say, will you be my boyfriend? Do you know him? Just because you're somebody on Instagram doesn't mean you know how they are. How about if they're not a nice person? How about if their character doesn't align with yours? Your values don't align. How about if they don't give you time? How about if you don't have anything to offer them either? It's not a good match. So what you do is that you study. If you see something that they're doing, you offer your help. What do you as a mentee bring to the table for your mentor? How do they see your value? Sometimes mentorship, well, just take. I just want you to tell me this. I just want you to be there. I want to be able to use your name and say such and such is my mentor. Mentorship is not for clouds. It's for growth. Do you understand? So that's a very important thing here. So this woman became my mentor because at a point in my life when I was lost, my father had told me, go and figure out what to do for your master. I didn't know where to go. This woman would come. She was a family friend and she said, I love my job. My job is amazing. It's one of the jobs she just talked about this job all the time. I said, Auntie, please, what's this job that you're doing? She said, I'm a city planner. That's how I discovered this area. That's how I didn't know it in school. I was just paying attention to what people were saying, to things I was feeling. And I was following my own heart. And so from that point, I went to and researched it. And the minute I saw it, I said, this is for me now. I was reading the curriculum. I was getting excited. That's how I knew this is my path. I got a scholarship to 2 places. You know why? Because I was meant to be in that space because I'd been paying attention. I wasn't just doing balu anyhow, just random stuff. I'd been writing notes. I'd been thinking, what do I like? What don't I like? The problem with some youth is that there's a quote I love that says, if you don't have a goal, you just run up and down the field and you never score. You can't even see the goal. You can't even see the posts. No nets, nothing. You're just running up and down the field. So when you are trying to come to your realization of your purpose, pay attention to the things going on within you, around you, how people are responding to the things that you bring to the table. Are they always calling you to ask you to do something for them? This same thing. Do you like doing it for people? Maybe that's your purpose. And then you ask those 4 questions again. Can I make money? Because if I say I like music, does that mean that I should now say I want to be a musician? No, I can't sing. It's a fact. So I come to terms with it. Is there another way I can bring music? Maybe I should go and study music business. Maybe there's a way I can do a tech app. Maybe then I can maybe follow it like that. But you have to know yourself first, your limitations, your strengths. And from there, you can then start to build out into what you think is for you. But that path is for you and you alone. That calling is for you. Nobody can tell you who you are except yourself. Are you understanding? Nobody can tell you who you are except yourself. Now, you must also be humble enough to take feedback. So you have to find people like this woman I met that said, this is something I love. When somebody tells you that they love a job, you listen to what they are saying and you ask them, what do you love? I was taking notes from her. This woman found me my first paid internship when I moved to New York City, where I got a scholarship to New York University. And it was, I hadn't even started school. I was getting money. I've never worked for free since then. I don't work for free, okay? Because I know my value, what I bring to the table. So that woman gave me my first job. I got to see what it felt like to work in that space. I loved it. I was thriving. My managers were giving me positive feedback. I was growing. I was learning. And from there, it was nonstop for me. Now, because of life, like I said before, it's like this. It's not like this. It's like this, right? Success is like this. Failure is part of success. You have to understand that too. So sometimes you go this way and they're like, that's not the way. You reverse, then you do U-turn, then you go another direction. It's okay. Nothing is wrong. It's just the way life is. So now, when I was moving to Nigeria, that's a different story. Something happened. I was like, America, I've been working here for over how many years? Over a decade, giving to their communities, helping them build out their communities, their neighborhoods where people were poor or disenfranchised or not very empowered. I was doing a lot of work working for the US government. I loved it. I was making good money. I was making good impact. It was great. But then something said, Tosin, you've done enough here. How about your own country? Are you going to go and help them there or what? And that's how I think, because I'm an impact-driven person. So I'm always thinking about what's the next challenge? What else can I do? I've done this one. What else can I do? So I moved to the next challenge. And the challenge next for me was to move back home after 20-something years and come and figure out what to do here. When I came here, guess what? I very quickly found out that city planning is not something that we're understanding quite yet here. And I had to understand that. But guess what? Because I'd been paying attention, somewhere along the line at my last job, it's a long story, but I had a job when I moved to Nigeria. It was a US-based job. But the job before that one, I was there for 8 years. And that job, the woman was so tough. I learned so much from her. She's one of my greatest mentors. I tell her she's my mentor, but I never asked her. I just worked with her and I worked under her and I worked for years under her. So I learned everything from her. And one of the things that she did was that she gave me the opportunity to start playing with tech. When I joined the company, I noticed that they were doing things in a very old-fashioned way. Like they were still using fax paper. I was like, what's this? They have e-fax. I was like, oh my gosh. Because I'm like, hello, I'm young. Like, what are you guys doing? So all of a sudden I started telling them, you guys, this is not cool. This is that. And then they were like, do you want to try it? I was like, sure. And that's how I started playing with technology. That's how I started building tech platforms. They brought in somebody that was a consultant that was helping me understand everything. That's how I started to pick up on technology. And I realized it at the point that it was a good opportunity for me to learn. So even though I was a city planner, I did not close off my mind to opportunities to help, opportunities to offer my ideas, opportunities to take on new skills. And so I took on that technology skill, and I did not realize that when I moved to Nigeria, it would be what I would end up doing. So it was very easy for me to pivot. So when I got here and I saw that city planning was not really trending like that, even though it should be, I was able to say, okay, time for technology, and I pivoted. And that's how I ended up establishing the first female-focused tech accelerator program in Nigeria, the first powered by Google in Africa. I also went on to become a chief operating officer for a real estate company. So I was able to do some real estate work going back to city planning. And then now I'm at Microsoft and I'm leading their For Africa initiative, which helps to invest in startups throughout the West Africa region. So I'm helping to, again, impact, give them money, give them thought leadership products, things like that to help them drive their startups from idea to concept to execution. And so once again, I'm in my purpose. And then I also founded the Bloom Africa, which is my pet project, but has become bigger than that. It's about empowering, you know, young girls. I have Power Girls Africa, which is for girls from the age of 16 to 18, sometimes 15. But we do a 1-year academy every year where we learn skills that they don't teach you at school. That was something I wanted to do on my free time to give back. So I did that. I do it every year. And then I have the Bloom Africa, which is for women that are ambitious and on the move and on the rise. And so we do a lot with those two things as well. So all around, I feel like I'm in my purpose. I feel like I'm doing things that people need. I feel like I'm sustaining myself. I feel like I'm passionate about what I do. I like what I do. I'm good at what I do. And that's how I ended up where I am today. So I hope that I've been able to impart some knowledge to you guys. I know my time is pretty much up, but I do hope that you guys picked up something from today. It was a pleasure speaking with all of you. And I do hope that you will apply some of the lessons that I learned in my life, which is to give yourself time to explore, give yourself time to learn who you are, be true to yourself. Whatever you are passionate about, ask yourself those other questions. If they are yes, pursue it, but be excellent at it. If you're going to commit to something, be excellent at it. Don't be poor or raggedy, like I say. And that's what will get you into rooms that you won't even understand how you got there. So stay blessed, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. And I wish you the best in everything that you do. Okay? Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, ma'am. We really, 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 really enjoyed your session. I enjoyed your session. I can speak for myself. So I don't know if anyone has one or okay. This chat session is blowing up. 1 or 2 questions for Miss Tosin Dorotoye. We have just 2 minutes for her to answer questions before we move on to our next speaker. Amazing. So a lot of positive energy. Questions. Oh, Stephanie's asking if there's a way to connect with you.
I'm terrible with everything. I'm being very honest. That's part of knowing your weaknesses. But if you follow me on social media, Instagram is primarily where I am. I come on like twice a day. And so I'll check some messages there and I check my comment section usually because my DMs look like trash. But if you can please put a comment, I will follow up with you and we can DM each other if you have questions. Okay, and we'll go from there. But a lot of what I'm working on, you can find on my Instagram page as well. And you can also check my bio out on my page. You can follow me on LinkedIn as well. And you can chat with me on LinkedIn as well, which is how I ended up here because, I got a message on LinkedIn. So it does work for sure. So thank you guys so much. This has been great. Please continue to do what your heart leads you to do. Don't forget to be in service to your country and to yourself and to your community. Money always comes after everything. Trust me. I never thought about money in everything that I've done. I've always just followed my spirit. And that spirit always leads me to abundance. And so remember that. Don't put money at the front of your mind. Put your skills and your strengths and what your gifts are to the front of your mind. The money will follow you. It's automatic. If you're good at what you do, you'll be paid for it. But if you go there, you're just searching for money all the time, you become a hustler. And you know what? I don't know if that's sustainable for the long term. So build your brand, make sure that you're known for the excellent work that you do, for your commitment, for your thoroughness, for learning, for taking feedback and correction, and always doing better than the day before, and you will succeed. I promise you. Thank you guys so much. All right.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Do enjoy the rest of your day. We really appreciate your time here. So moving quickly to our last session for the day, but definitely not the least. We have the CEO of Study Free, Dasha. Dasha, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can. Hi.
Hi, Dasha. Dasha is one of our partners and the CEO of one of our national partner, Study Free. Dasha is a young and ambitious entrepreneur with a passion for making international education available for everybody around the world. She began her path studying at the top business school in Shanghai. Then Dasha received an offer from Berkeley Investment Bank and worked in Singapore for several months in sales and trading. Her professionalism and energy drove her to build Study Free, that is already helping over 30,000 students worldwide to get $4 million of scholarship and grants. She grew the company to become a global winner of the Seed Start World Competition this year and the first global winner from the CIS. Dasha was also selected to participate in Berkeley Skydeck and Techstars New York Accelerator in 2020. Welcome, Dasha.
Hi, thank you so much for the intro. Hi, everyone. It's so great to start Saturday morning in my case, because I'm based in San Francisco, so it's 5:30 a.m. right now with you guys. And yes, as was mentioned in the intro, I'm CEO and founder of Study Free. It's an online platform that connects students with international opportunities worldwide. So we help students to get into colleges abroad with full financing, to find relevant study programs, to find scholarship and grants, to guide through the whole entire application process, and to help you end up being in college. And yeah, like the whole story starting with my own experience. And I was a typical student coming from a very small township back in Russia. I didn't know, like, I had no money, no financing, I didn't know anyone, didn't have any network. And then I managed to win lots of scholarship and grants, study for free in Russia, Spain, China, business school. I was working in investment bank in Singapore. And yeah, and then I was studying Stanford in States. And right now I live in Silicon Valley with my company. So we as a company, we aim to help students from all over the world. We right now have almost 40,000 students working with us to make the dream come true. I actually would like to share some slides because yeah, today I wanted to talk like how to what kind of like opportunities are out there for you guys to get international education, to like find scholarship and grants, and to unlock international opportunities existing in the world. I want to do some slides sharing, if it's okay. Yeah, awesome. So we have like 30 minutes, I guess. So I'm gonna run quickly through the concept. Yeah, once again, as I mentioned, we have very high, like 98% of students in our case got into university scholarship and grants. And yeah, hope guys, I can give you a bit of information for you today, so we'll be able to make your dream come true as well. Okay, so we're gonna go on a speed track. Yeah, a bit on my side that was already mentioned. So why do people actually decide to study abroad? And first, you have an opportunity to get a prestigious world-class degree. You're gonna have interesting and practical knowledge, and like it's not gonna be like boring old theory. Like for example, like it was like back in Russia. I don't know, like it was like books maybe like 20 years old, not relevant. You're gonna spend like 5 years, like 4 or 6 years getting a degree, and then end of the day when you're gonna go to the job market, it's not gonna be relevant, and you're gonna have to go get like extra skills as well. After getting like international recognized degree, it's always about rapid career growth and high salaries, and of course fluency in foreign languages, and you can see the world. Like for example, in my case, international opportunity and like my international experience really helped me to speak 4 languages fluently. So I speak Russian, English, Spanish, and Mandarin Chinese. And I know like majority of our students speak at least 3 languages, and I believe that's essential right now to be part of a global community. And of course, like it's for some people, it's moving to a different country. For some people, it's getting access to international opportunities and then coming back to their own country and giving back to community and helping the raise their own country. Because you're gonna have so many resources, so many connections, so much knowledge that the end result and your value of giving back is just going to be totally different. What are the types of studying abroad? So first, it can be exchange semester, like a year, when you're just going for like 6 months or 1 year to another school. The pros in this part that is just super easy. You just pick like exchange program and you go. The cons is that first of all, it's usually not supported by like any kind of scholarship. It's not gonna give you like benefits of finding a job abroad if you want to do so, or like spending some like more years and getting some permanent visa if you would like to explore international experience. So it's just like for like cultural background, and plus again, it has like less opportunities, like less chances to be financed by scholarship and grants. Then you have double degree when you spend like half of the time in your country and half of the time abroad. It's usually dependent on like partner universities with your home school, but like the plus here that you're gonna have like two recognized degrees, diplomas from your home university and from abroad. Bachelor's, like undergrad, uh that's like where like right after the college, you get like right after the high school, you're gonna go to international colleges like in different countries. The good point is that because is that you're gonna dive into international environment right away. You're gonna be exposed to great quality of education and international experience from like very early age. The minus here is that not all the countries, like not in all non-English speaking countries, you can find programs in English in all the majors. There's going to be some limitation. So like if you don't speak, like for example, you want to study in Europe, but you don't speak, I don't know, like German or like French, like your options are going to be limited to maybe economics and like computer science. But yeah, that's still possible. The next one and the most, sorry, I have like fire station right across me, so yeah, it can be some noise. Yeah, next one is actually a master's degree. So what happens with the master is actually the most popular, the most common one. The major reason behind this is that you have like the biggest number of scholarships available in every country. You can study with scholarship. It just depends, going to be full or partial in any um, yeah, like in any country you can get any kind of a degree in English language, so you can easily go to Asia, you can easily go to Europe, and in any country you will be able to study anything in English, and that's really great. The rest are PhD, which is a bit different because you need to have like a lot of like academic background, and but it's always financed, so actually getting like PhD scholarship. And then it's MBA, executive MBA, which is usually for the top professional, and short-term programs and fellowship. We do also have MBA. We do also have, but right now it's kind of like limited because of the COVID. But like all the rest, all the full-time programs, not stoppable. So people actually plan, people going to study. So there is no pause right now. Mm, yeah, that was kind of like I wanted to provide like some salaries of like uh, alumni of the top universities, and this usual salary per year. So you can see like it's like $10,000 approximately per year. I'm just gonna go here. Yeah, because we have like far less time, so I'm gonna be skipping some parts. So how does the application process looks like? It's program search. It's, I don't know, like 500 different sources with structured, unstructured information. You have to talk with the schools. You have so many different rankings. You have to pass different exams: IELTS, TOEFL, SAT, GPA. You have like so many different words like made up for like 3 full letters, and just kind of like messes you up because just so much unknown. Personal statements, letters of reference, certificates, translations for the documents, online application, and so on and so forth. And oh my god, how I'm gonna figure out all of this? You're just gonna go crazy because like that's just too much information. Yeah, let me skip. I just wanted to share my story. We have less time, it's just less relevant. And yeah, let's go here. So how does the process look like for you? So first you're gonna select the country and the major. Then you're gonna do the scholarship search, because if you wanna have full financing, you have to start with scholarship because it's way more limited. School search, exam prep, documents prep, and then you're gonna get to the school. So let's go like within like each process, each step. So key types of scholarship and grants. First, it's government scholarships. Usually there's like scholarship provided by the government of accepting countries. So for example, if you're gonna go to study in Canada, there's gonna be, Okay, Canada is a bad example. Like Netherlands, let's put it this way, like UK, there's going to be scholarship provided by UK government. They're usually not connected to the specific type of university, and you should first apply to the school, get the result, and then apply to the scholarship. But they have the largest coverage. So if you want to have your tuition fee covered fully and living expenses covered fully as well, then you should go to the countries where you have the largest number of government scholarships. University scholarship is given only to students applying to the specific school. It's usually less spots available, again, less competition, but at the same time, they usually don't really cover tuition fee. So you have to, I mean, like the covered tuition fee don't really cover living expenses on really limited space. So if you're okay with paying for your own living expenses in a foreign country, or like, for example, you're like, okay, getting like part-time job, university scholarships are great. And then you have like third-party scholarship. You have like World Bank. You have like International Monetary Fund. Good news are like for students from Africa and Nigeria specifically, have so many additional scholarships available, and that's really great opportunity. Like in our case, we've been really looking like for like scholarship and grants available out there, and we have 90,000 programs with scholarships available on our platform. And I will get the link at the end. Majors, it's actually, yeah, it's also important. I wouldn't say there's like direct correlation, but typically people applying to like two types of majors have higher chances on getting a scholarship. So first is something that's really in demand in the market. Second one is something that's like really brings positive impact to the world, and scholarship funds are usually entitled to kind of like motivate people to apply there like much more often. So the first type is computer science, biotech, medicine, data science, anything which is related to the tech and tech side. The second part, which is like social responsible majors, let's put it this way. It's ecology, it's sustainability, in climate change, social studies, education, equal rights, and all of this. So if you want to study art, economics, and so on, and like, or your major doesn't really fall with in these categories, don't get upset. It's all possible. Like 60% of the students who come to us, they usually have economic majors. Everyone still gets to the school scholarship and grants, but it's just you're gonna have like slightly more chances if you're still going in the process. What should I choose, and so on and so forth. Country and the school. I guess yes, that's the most important part. So first, the country, the most expensive education and the fewer available scholarship and grants are in US, UK, and Australia, just because they have so many talented people from all over the world. They don't have to actually motivate and sponsor people to come to their own country. So like that's the most typical case. People come, hey, I want to study for French State, and it's like, yeah, that's how much it costs, and they don't really have like full government scholarship, and the cost of education is extremely expensive. So guys, if for you the price point, the sensitivity is the most like crucial, and you want to get great quality education, which is still possible. Like for example, right now, yes, students going to Europe, that happens all the time. So and you're gonna have like cheaper education and lots of scholarships in Germany, Austria, Czech Republic, France, Norway, China, Korea, Canada, Finland, Netherlands. And again, in all of these countries, you would be able to study in English, so you don't have to speak local language. So if for you, like if the price point is the most sensitive part, just go for these countries, and yeah, let's be like a bit more realistic, I guess. Also, when it comes to the type of the university, especially in Europe, it depends. There's a huge difference between public school and the private. So public school, it's still a great education, especially like in Germany. It's public, sponsored by the government, really top degree, but it's just going to be way cheaper. And for example, in Germany, the cost of education is going to be like $500 per year, and that's all. If you want to get like to understand the quality of the the ranking of the school, you can go like to any of these rankings, Financial Times for business education, and so on and so forth. So you can find it. All of this information is gathered on our platform, so you can easily go there like afterwards and find relevant information. Just to give like a bit more background here, like you can see how much the tuition fee, the living expenses usually. We're talking about undergrad, and the scholarships available. That's how much like you can end up paying or not paying. So yeah, for you it's going to be way easier to to understand. Um, yeah, and okay, so general list of necessary documents that you would need to prepare. So first of all, it would be previous degrees and transcripts. It should be authorized, and with like official translations. If it's not done in language, like the language of the accepting university, like motivation letter, like personal statement, is 70% of success. So it's like the selection process is not that quantitative, it's more like qualitative. So you really have to understand how to properly write and explain why do you deserve scholarship, why you do need a scholarship, how it's going to change your life, what are you going to do with this. So that's part of the most crucial, especially when you talk about getting a scholarship or like funding. Then you need to get like reference letters, language certificates. That's like it's actually depends like from country to country. So like for English, if you're coming from like in some schools like would require like this in your case like TOEFL or like IELTS. And also you need to have additional exams like GMAT, GRE, for master in science like in business, and so on and so forth. So yeah. Yeah, I know, like I hope it doesn't sound too complicated for you. In this case, maybe a bit on the deadlines. So you really should understand that when we're talking about studying abroad with the scholarship, the deadlines and the like the timeline is totally different. So the general like school application process deadlines usually is like from December to like I don't know like June, July. So like you can come like for example to us in March and it's like, hey, I want to get a scholarship in I don't know like in start in September, and it wouldn't be possible because scholarship deadlines are much earlier. So your ideal case you have to start like 1.5 years in advance. Like for example, right now you already have majority of scholarship passed for like next application year. So right now it's actually ideal time to start preparing for like next application cycle, and it would be like September 2020, 22, not 21. And that's kind of like the rough timeline of how like deadlines of the scholarships look like. So you have like Canada, like Germany, you can see like, so usually by January, majority of scholarships already over, they're already gone. And you have to, yeah, and you have to apply for like for the next year. Yeah, and maybe, do you have it? No, we don't have it. Yeah, so that was kind of like some parts from me. You guys feel free to scan QR code and to test the platform if you like to find a scholarship, like many of these. I think my goal was to fit into like 20 minutes, so I hope I managed to do so. I'm happy to answer more questions along the way, and yeah, always welcome like to us if you need to get like any advice on how to study abroad and so on, because like guys, in my case it just changed like the whole life. I was like no one, like just a girl from a very small Russian township, simple family, never could able to travel the world, and right now lives like in 6 countries. I live in Silicon Valley, have my own US company, have so many different public, I'm helping like thousands of students around the world. And all of this would not be possible if like once like back I don't know like 10 years ago, I wouldn't be brave enough just to step out of my comfort zone and try to make the impossible. And it wasn't easy, it was always difficult, but I was just stubborn enough to fight till the end. So it's not easy, but it's possible. Definitely worth trying and working as hard as you can, because the opportunities you're gonna get is just tremendous. They're unlimited. And how you can, like for example, later on, all the knowledge, network, people, resources you're gonna get to come back and help your own community, they're just incomparable. So I just hope it kind of give you, I managed to give you like the scope of opportunities that exist in the world. So yeah, it's time if you want to try. And yeah, there's like so many different people who can help you down the road. Yep. So I would be happy to answer some questions if you have any. Guys, feel free to follow us on like different sources of media. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, Dasha. I'm very sure a lot of people have got one or two things from this space. So a question from Iremide. She's asking, is it all the scholarship that I have? That does she have to apply for all the scholarship about a year and a half before time? That's what she's asking.
Yeah. So the general like, thought would be here is you need like lots of time to get ready to apply for the scholarship, because by the time you're applying for the scholarship, you need to have all the documents ready. You need to have like all the essays, reference letters, and you also need to work on your profile because you need to kind of get additional experience to increase your chances. So ideal case is to start the process 1.5 year in advance, but usually you apply into the scholarship like around November, December to get into school in September next year. But like 1 or 2, like 1.5 or 2 years, that's the perfect timing to start the process in general.
Amazing. Does that answer your question, Remide? Okay. She's asking, what are the basic steps?
Yeah, I think I actually had this in my slides, as well as like the list of the documents. The requirements, it was English, additional exams, all personal statements, letters of reference, transcripts, and all of this. It really depends on like the country. It really depends on the school, but yeah, there's like going to be a list of exams, and there's going to be the whole bunch of like CV, personal statements, and yeah. But you can see them as well, like in the slides they're gonna send afterwards.
Amazing. So, to answer your question, Chioma, again, I said the slides will be shared to all participants, and definitely you'll be able to have access to this information. And to all our paid participants who registered, definitely you will be having a discount, a special discount from Study Free. Before now, it was 83% discount, but definitely if you'll be attending Dasha's seminar, she's having a webinar 6 p.m. Am I correct? Yes, you'll be having 100% free with regards to the discount. So for the paid delegates, I definitely will be sending you the link to that webinar where you can have the free access, 100% free access from Study Free. Please do also join that session, join that webinar. Trust me, it was going to be power packed, definitely. So I don't know if anyone has any more questions before we move on. Okay, I know Luatine is asking a question.
Yeah, in our case, success rate for international students was 98%. Like 98% of students got admitted. For like African students, it's actually like for the students who come to us on time, not the last minute, it's actually even like higher, have like 99%, just because for you guys, you have many more scholarships available, which like scholarships specifically only for like African students. So yeah, you have like way higher chances than like students, I don't know, like from Russia, let's put it this way, or like from somewhere like else in Europe or like India as well.
Amazing. So let me just quickly chip in. The amazing thing about Study Free is they help you through the process step by step. In terms of you have a mentor who helps you through the process in terms of your essays, in terms of your application. You have all these people there to guide you right from the start to the end of the whole process. So trust me, this is a journey you're not going to be doing on your own. You're just going to have that support and also having Study Free scholarship again to also guide you. Again, do make sure you attend that session. It will be sent to the delegates group for the discounts, access to discounts from Study Free. So I don't know if you have final words for us, Dasha, before we call this a day.
Yeah, as I said before, just guys, impossible is possible. It's true. I remember like sometimes I couldn't believe that it's possible. That like it's too good to, it sounds too good to be true, but actually it is. You have like many students that in like there for like many years. Just step out, be brave, be bold, and yeah, go like fight till the end. And you have like so much help that some different people with like experience who can help you, including us. So good luck to everyone down the road.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dasha. It's always a delight hearing from you. I really look forward to actually re-attending your webinar because I've attended one of your webinars, and trust me, it's going to be value for your time. So thank you very much, Dasha. Thank you very much, Darina. I see you're also here. It's also a pleasure having you here. So 1 minute. Okay, amazing. Okay, hi everyone. So it's been an amazing ride. So quickly, I don't know who would like to share how day two was. I'm very sure most people attended day one. Most people at most people here also attended day two. So how was day one? How was day two? Please, you can unmute your mic and share. I really would love to interact. I've been speaking a lot. I just want to interact with somebody or some people actually. So you can just unmute and speak about how day one and day two went for you. Let's see. Hi, Mary. Hi, Remide.
Hello,
How was
can you
day
hear me?
one? Yes, I can hear you, Mary.
Yeah. The one was very insightful, especially during the breakout section with Ola Diamonds. Was
Ah,
really insightful. Yes.
I can sense the excitement in your voice. From the way you're speaking, you sound very excited. Thank you very
Yes,
much
I
for
am.
attending.
Thank you.
Chimezie,
Yeah,
you are on mute.
yeah. Day two actually joined in this day two because of yesterday. I had
Oh,
issue with my network, so
oh,
I joined
I
today,
see.
and then it's been awesome. It's been awesome, and then I learned a lot.
Amazing, amazing. So definitely you will be getting the recording from day one. So if you go back through to this recording, I'm very very sure you'll be able to catch up because it was really really self-explanatory. So thank you very much, Team AZA. So Ogaga, do you want to speak? Hi,
Yeah,
Ogaga.
um, hi. I was really excited about day one with Jason, the UI UX breakout session. Can you
Amazing.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You said you were excited about the UI UX breakout session.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you very much for your feedback, Precious Okafor.
Hi everyone.
Hi, Precious.
Okay, day one was awesome. Though I joined in late and I also happened to miss the breakout section, but I joined in during the the
Hmm.
PWC daily.
The Rolly SSC.
That was the one I joined, upskilling.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
really enjoyed it. Then day two was really the bomb. Like I really
Ah,
enjoyed I enjoyed Tosin's section. It was as if she was actually speaking to me because I'm currently going through that phase of my life where I don't really know what I want to do.
oh,
So it's been amazing, really.
okay. That is really, really, really good to hear. I'm very, very sure. Precious, please do make sure you reach out to me on, I don't know if you're on the WhatsApp group, but my name is Mujinyola Balogun on the WhatsApp group. Just do make sure you reach out to me. Um, just please make sure you reach out to me, Precious. Thank you very much. And we really, really appreciate the time you put out here to actually be here, to actually staying to this very moment, dedicating 2 days of your time to actually being in a space. It's not an easy feat here, but here you are. So I would like to thank you from Isaac in Nigeria, from the masterclass, from the organizers of the masterclass. We have the project manager here, we have the event managers, and we have a lot of other moderators who actually put out their time and energy to actually making sure the breakout sessions were amazing. The
Else you
current
come and
sessions were
join so
amazing.
somebody else can.
Okay. Apologies. So Favor, you are muted. So thank you very much for your time. We would make sure we send every output in terms of those who could not join the breakout sessions to you via mail. Please make sure you check your mails and you'll definitely be able to receive them. But for now, this is it from me, and this is goodbye. Do make sure you follow ISEC in Nigeria on all our social media page to actually follow up on every event we'll be having. And also ensure you enjoy participation by going on exchange with ISEC. But for now, that is all, and compliments of the season. Bye, everyone.